Good day. How do you do? My name's Marge. Mayoko Wise Clown. It occurred to me, or I was around you yesterday when I was watching an episode of The Goldbergs, of where my salutations and greetings from Marge came from. It's flippy flipped. I turned it around when I was a kid because I hate doing stuff just like everybody else because there's freaking trite and redundant and it makes my eye twitch. And it was from Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater. He was a badass rebel who had a radio show that talked out against crap, and that's what I do. I did it long before that. I was that kid with the video camera. I was always doing this, and now, it's funny how you have personality traits in you, and then fast forward, and you have personality traits and desires and inklings and drive and because I grew up watching I freaking love glamour and stars and movies and TV and music and all of that glitzy stuff. And so I used to walk around the woods and sing and do rock videos before MTV happened, and then as you become more you are, the universe supports you in doing some things. It's like I said, the technology didn't exist to have the ability to do reports like this when I was back in the early 70s. If they did, it wasn't for me. See, technology and stuff like that, they're all luxuries. They're all coins of advancement. Pay raises are. It's all, if you do what I tell you to do and act how I want you to act, you will be handsomely rewarded. But if that doesn't happen, then know the price to pay. It's so weird. I already got Wiley at a frickin' sweet cleaner out the end of the street. I kept him from coming up. Yeah, little old me can do that. I'm a frickin' jerk, dude. I just want peace and quiet. And you in a frickin' motorized vacuum cleaner driving really slow up and down my streets because it's your job? No, you're a resource hog. Get the fuck out and sweep that shit up if it's that important to you, Do the job without having it cost everybody. And that's what I speak out about. Political freaking, and if you look at the history of my videos, you will see my accounts of and where I get my records and all that, and it's all public record. People just don't go look because they don't want to know how bad they're getting it in the tookus, because they are. Wonder how much money is spent on fucking sucking streets, really? And I don't have running water. That's what pisses me off. And people are like, I'm so offended because you're flipping me off, Because I did. I freaking wave my arms. Don't come down here. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not yelling. He can't hear me. That would be stupid. I would look crazy. But it's like, don't come down here. Just it's noise. I just want to live someplace peace and quiet. Hear the sirens? It's funny. I looked up penal codes this morning. Penal codes. If you don't know what that is, that's the law book. It's the code of numbers the policemen use. It's how 420 came to be, and I remember the ones of other ones because of songs. Is and things like that. Penal codes. You know what? I think they call it penal codes because it's freaking invented by a bunch of dicks. Yeah. And if they don't like something that you're doing, anyone, and if they're in high enough position, they'll just make up another stupid rule. Ask the water defenders up in Sioux Falls. I can't believe that monstrosity that happened in this day and age, and people just, no, it's alright. Football's on. Fuck football. You know what football is? Back in the times of the gladiators, right? People with families. Instead of going to the movies, they'd go to the Coliseum and watch people kill each other. Yeah. And now you're all so upset, and when people go out and shoot each other. But it's no different than filling up Coliseums and frickin' lining the pockets of frickin' NFLs, and you're all so worried about them getting head injuries. Why don't you have them stop doing the shit that they're getting them for? It's no different. But then you're hoo and haw and go to work, and if there's a terrible, oh, did you see that career-ending energy? Yeah, it was great. Was it? It's freaking weird. There's no humanity left. I'm seeing very little humanity. I see a lot of ego. I see a lot of need for money and to fill yourselves up with outside things and property, prestige, who's good looking. They don't even like you for you, so what do you care? As soon as somebody better looking on with someone that has something better to offer, they'll just drop your arm for another. It's fun to watch, though. How's that spiritual ascension working out for you? Yeah. I just want to live in a place where there's one entrance in and one entrance out. Street. And that street is mine. I want a long driveway about 20 miles from anybody. 15. I like to have neighbors, but I will have my friends that will live with me too, because I need to live with people. I'm a social little butterfly that needs to be around so that I can create, because that's what I'm here to do, is create. I give ideas about how to give freaking electricity to everybody, and you know, I mean, I with all the wonderful movements I see, movements, there's so many movements. I see a lot of people with a lot of ideas that are freaking taking themselves on a lot of trips. Don't get me wrong, one day when I'm in the position, I will go on trips too. I'm just going to take people that have never been to these places along with me, because it's more fun. Yeah. I never came from a family, a loving environment. It's completely alien to me to be in a support, and you know what the weird part is I've been in so many opportunities where people could have embraced me, and they just didn't, because I was just too much, because I talk a lot, because I say things that and bring up topics of conversation that people aren't comfortable with because of their feelings and emotions, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's how people are supposed to be connecting. I'm doing it right. They're all doing it wrong. If there's a right and wrong. And I kept quiet for a long time. I just sat back and I watched and I see the different ways, because people can't just outwardly abuse other people anymore. They have to be more cunning and baffling, because there are more people like me that are starting to call it out. You can't, dude, there ain't nothing you can do. You can be the biggest, baddest mofo in the world, but if you have a little kid or come up on you and be like, why are you mean? You really have to stop and ask yourself, why am I mean? I'm not mean. Sometimes I have the desire to want to be. I'll yell and cuss at a freaking city. That's not mean. Freaking people are idiots. They're not even people as far as I'm concerned. If you have a desire to sit in a truck and suck up leaves in a vacuum cleaner truck all day, that's not a human being to me. I don't recognize that. I don't. Same for how long has it been since the last guy came through? The last city employee said, I'll see what I can do. 5 days. But today's a good day, and I'm going to wrap it on this. Because my whole life, I thought I was so small. I thought I was so insignificant. Because I talk funny, because we were poor. Then I grew up and I went to college. And I started buying my own clothes when I was 15. I had my first job when I was 15. That's why it's so weird that people think that I'm just a loaf. Like, I don't want to work. I want to work really bad. I just can't leave my mom. She's not good with things like stoves and doors, keeping them closed. And my animals are my family, and I've come home and the cat's gone, and that is not a vibration I like to meet. So I try very hard to keep those things from happening. But today I get to see my friend Court's in session. So F your penal codes, Court's in session. I haven't seen her in years. I think the last time I saw her was around the time I got that ladder. She gave me this ladder. She had plants on it and stuff like that, and I have the intention to do the same thing. It's sturdy. I had shelves across it and put plants on it too, but sometimes my ideas in my head don't match the ideas that I have. Anyway, she's driving down from Seattle, And I thought she was in Portland and it's coming out slowly that she's come driving all this way to see me. And I feel so good. Because those are the efforts that I do to people. My grandma died. I came out for a funeral. I should add up all the hours that I drove that weekend. But anyway, she's driving down to Seattle. And she's coming to see me because I'm worth it. I never thought I was. So all these years and years, treating people a certain way of kindness and love, because I know what it feels like to not. Or, that's not true. I know what it feels like. It's just few and far between. I've been given glimpses here and there so that I know that it exists. And then that one day when I reach it for real, and it stays, it's the staying part that I gotta get better at finding. But I'm so excited to go visit Courtney. Just to spend some time with a real friend, you know? It's I live on a major interstate, I-5. I've been freaking all the way almost to Canada, down to Tijuana on I-5. I've been on all of I-5 at some point in time or another in my life. I know it well. And the last time someone came through, her name was Courtney too, and we stood here and played catch up. And I haven't talked to her much since, but and it was funny because the last Courtney came around, it was the day after I got to see Lady Gaga, but of course passing. These are the messages that I look at. The universe tells me that court's in session and justice is about to be served. So hope you have a rad day. Peace.